Hello, hello, hello. This is Tom from Tom and Ruth Philippine Adventures. Today, we're going to talk about a couple, or actually, a couple couples that had some troubles because they did not choose right. They jumped in, like jumping in the swimming pool, and did everything. And guess what? They didn't know each other. So stay tuned. You know, I've done many videos on this subject, and I want to bring it up today. I was reading my emails this morning, and when you're online and you do a long distance relationship, and you have someone that you're talking to, and you've been talking to them for a period of time, you don't really realize that we sometimes maybe don't think things out, because all we're looking is the grass is greener and the pie in the sky is so much better in that instance than the instance over here. And so, for example, is yes, I want to get married. Yes, I want to find a girl. And yes, let's do that. But they're so excited getting out of the States or getting out of their country and coming to the Philippines. They're not really seeing the big picture. And what I mean by that is they're getting engaged to a lady they really just don't know. They met online, but they did not really get to know them. And most of the time, the girls are saying, marry me now, marry me now, marry me now. And one thing about it, a Filipina, is this, is understandably so. They're in an environment that they want to catch the man and keep the man, and they want to make sure everything is okay with that and get engaged and get married immediately within a month, 2 months, arriving on the ground. That's exactly what happens to so many people. In other words, once their boots are on the ground here, let's get married. Let's go get married right now. And so the guys are saying, okay, I don't see a problem with that, but they go get married. Well, they really don't know the lady that they're marrying. They think they know the lady that they're marrying, and they go and have the paperwork, and she has it set up. And that's what happened to Peter, and that's what happened to Stephen. Peter and Stephen came here, and they got married. They're married. And their lives are kind of faltering a little bit. And faltering meaning is, and both these guys are on SRRVs, by the way. So they can come and go whatever they want. But they got married, right? And one has been here for a while. He was on tourist and just moved to SRV. The other guy just arrived. But they get married. They're getting married. And they don't really know. I mean, they've been here. One guy's been here a month, and they're getting married last week. They got married. Then he sent me an email. I really don't know who I married. And I said, what do you mean you don't know who you married? You married a girl, and, well, the attitude once it's married is kind of changed. Tempo setting in, attitude is setting in, don't want to talk to me. I have to bang on the counter to get her attention. I have to say this. I have to do this to get her attention. And so I'm saying to the guys out there, please, 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 make sure that you really know your Filipina before you said, okay, I do. Know your Filipina before you say I do. Because a lot of times, the ladies are so excited. They got an American coming, or Australian coming, or UK, British guy coming, or a lady from New Zealand, guy from New Zealand. And all of us foreigners, because all of us are the same, we're just tired of where we're at. And we want to change. We're tired of it. We're tired of the Western mentality. We're tired of this. We're tired of our jobs. We're tired of all these things. And so we're jumping, saying, okay, we're going to do it no matter what. And so they jump to it, and they get here, and then they say to themselves, man, what happened? I gotta get married. Excuse me, I gotta get married. Okay, so get married, and then the switch changed. So Mr. Peter is saying, okay, now our attitude's changed. She doesn't want to talk to me. She's very, non-existent. And I basically said, well, tell her this. Tell her this. Tell her this. So I wrote an email back. Tell her this. I mean, common sense tells you this. And that's the thing. You have to set that straight first. Her attitude's been her attitude all her life. She's not changed. That's who she is. And just like your attitude is who you are. You may be bossy, you may be controlling, you may be mean, you may be angry, you may be frustrated. You're frustrated with gas prices. You're frustrated you didn't get the price on your car. You're frustrated you didn't get this on your house that you wanted to get. Man, I lost $20,000 the last 30 days. I'm sick. And you come over here with that attitude, and the ladies are saying this. The same thing goes for that. The lady is a sweet, kind, loving girl, and you're coming over here with an attitude like that. And that happens too. And she says, I ain't married. I married this guy, and why did I marry this guy? So it's vice versa. Guys come here with attitudes, just like the ladies do. We all need to take what they call a chill pill. I give one to Omer all the time. It's something like this. I pull out of my pocket. Here's the chill pill. Take this chill pill. There's nothing there. You have to talk to the lady, and she has to talk to you earnestly and honestly and say, hey, this is my problem. This is the thing that I'm happening. In fact, if Stephen is saying, well, I'm getting married and I don't know if I really need to do it or not. And I said, well, if you don't really know who she is and what she's about. And the first question I asked Stephen in the email, what is her favorite flower? What is her color? What color does she like the most? And does she like wearing dresses, or does she like wearing tights or shorts? What kind of person is she? He goes, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? You're marrying her, but you don't know? I said, I would really rethink that situation. Now, if you don't know what she likes, food she likes, if you don't know, because the BI is going to ask you that. If you're getting married, you're going to have these questions. What color food you like? How did you meet? How long you been talking? What kind of foods does she eat? What's her favorite color? What does she like doing in the morning? I mean, these questions were on the form that I filled out years ago. What color are her eyes? What color? How many children does she have? How many does she have children? Yes or no? How many? And of course, you should know that if she has children or not. But a lot of guys come here and they get a rude awakening. She already has children. She didn't tell them about. Told them it's her sister's children and they're her children. And the cat's out of the bag when they call mommy, mommy. Oh, see, they just call me mommy. No, you're my mother. What do you mean? No, I'm not. Yeah, you're my mommy. And so there's that happens a lot. And they hide the children because they're afraid that the American or the foreigner or the UK guy won't like it. So really, overall, you really have to think about that. You have to think about when you come here, make sure you really get to know who she is. Maybe she takes an hour for her to get ready anymore. Maybe it takes 2 hours for her to clean. Maybe she doesn't clean the house. Maybe she never touches anything. Maybe she just sits on her phone all day. That's another thing. Maybe she just loves her phone and Facebook so much, she can't stand it no more. You can't stand it no more because the dishes are piling up and you help clean and whatever. And then all of a sudden you're the slave in the house and you're not helping doing anything for that. And she may not even cook. And you may have to do the cooking. So you really have to ask these really important questions before you get engaged with a person and say, okay, I do. Because if you don't, you're going to have it's going to be a torture for you. Can you get out of the relationship once you get married? Well, you can. But why would you do that? Why don't you just make sure that you're getting married to the person that you met online? And she's the same. Don't think everybody is different whenever they're online. People are not always the same when they're online. When I get off this, I'm completely different than I'm on my YouTube channel. I'm more quiet, more reserved, believe it or not. Even though R says there's a big difference in you, Daddy, when you're not on the YouTube doing videos and you're doing things. But so that's the thing. You really need to get to know that person before you make that decision to go ahead and do that. People don't think about that. And so you got a Filipina that you come here, you're marrying, man, really take a look at that. And don't just take, okay, yeah, high five, I'm marrying you. First one that comes. She's beautiful. I mean, her waist is this big, she's this tall, she's got long, high, she's got beautiful, she's 25 years old. I'm marrying her, I don't care. But you really don't know who she is. And she doesn't know who you are. And in her mind, she thinks, okay, I'm getting this really guy, nice looking guy, and this, that, and other, he looks good. But he gets here and he says this and he says that, and then all of a sudden there's conflict. Because once you get here, this is going to happen immediately. Guaranteed, 100%. I don't care who you are, American, Filipino, Australian, UK, you're going to have this. and it's going to be, you can't mend. You can't mesh together yet. Well, you can kiss and hug and everything else, but you're really not mending because your personality and the communication is not there. Let me tell you something about communication. It's funny. You have everything but the touch. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, but you don't have the touch, so it's really not real. But once you touch her and you're here, it's real. It's okay. But here's what's going to happen. Communication falters. And the reason it falters is because you talk and say something, she's not going to understand you. Unless she has a college degree and she's been OFW and she's been out and away, she'll understand you. But if she's a Filipina raised here and talking English, she's not going to understand you, even though she speaks English. And what I mean by that, she's not going to understand the slang. She's not going to understand American wit. She's not going to understand everything that you say to her. She's going to think that you're mad at her when you're not mad at her. You're just making a statement. And you're going to think she's mad at you and you didn't do anything because she didn't answer the question that you asked her. Sometimes you have to ask your wife 2, 3, 4 times the same question. She's not going to understand you. Even Ruth and I have this problem. She understands English, she speaks English, but sometimes she just doesn't hear me. And I think that's all people in general. I would say women, but really, I'm worse than she is. So I think really overall, if you think about it, is this. When you come to the Philippines, do not get married immediately. Do not. And I think I'll title this, Do Not Get Married in the Philippines. Because so many guys come here and they regret it. Why do they regret it? Because they did not do their soul searching before they got here. Because there's a Filipina for everyone, and there is a man for every Filipina. But you're going to find that when you meet her and you talk to her and she sits beside you and she's all nervous and you're nervous and you guys are talking, it's going to be like, okay, fine. But you're going to find the 24 hours, 72 hours later, 184 hours later, you're sitting there going, okay, now what is our life about now? What do we got to do now? We did all that. Now what do we do? Well, who's going to cook dinner? Well, I don't know how to cook. And you're going to find Filipina that don't know how to cook. They may cook rice, but that's about it. They don't know how to cook it because their mommy does it. Even a 30-year-old Filipina will not always know how to cook. A 35-year-old Filipina will not know how to cook because guess what? Her mommy, her grandma, granny does it. Her cousin, her sisters, somebody else does it, and she never had to because there's 10 people in the house or 5 people in the house. And there you'll find that happens a lot also. Man, that's a good topic for a video. So I've been on here 12 minutes, so I'm going to let this one go. So God bless everybody, and thank you so much. And thank you for watching. Don't forget Ruth and Tom in Omer's channel. Omer Chihuahua channel. God bless.